Hey, what's up, gang? Jason here today in the shop. What am I doing, you might ask? I don't know, what are you doing? I'm sitting here sizing magnets, unfortunately. Today, we're gonna talk about magnets, precision holes, press fits, all kinds of exciting topics like that. We've got these little 1/8 inch by 1/4 inch neodymium magnets, and these get pressed into the back of the earplug. Press fit is a mechanical fit. Sometimes it's called an interference fit, and that actually means the hole that we put this magnet into is smaller than the magnet, and we just force it in, and that mechanical fit holds that assembly together. That's a great way to do it. It is very simple. It does require a reasonable degree of precision, and the way that we are accomplishing that is actually with an OSG drill. OSG is a well-known drill manufacturer. They make great stuff. They also hold very, very tight tolerances. What I mean by tolerance is, say your hole is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch, but it never really is. It's either above or below that to some degree, and that degree is the tolerance. The hole we're getting in the titanium parts is an 1/8 inch drill, but we're getting a hole that is about 124 thousandths or 0.124 inches. So it's about a thousandth, I can't say that. It's about a thousandth of an inch undersized, which is actually what you want. You'd prefer it to be undersized because then you can bring it up to final size rather than having it oversized to begin with. One way to make a precision hole is to first drill it and then use a boring tool to bring that to final size. However, that causes a huge problem in terms of maintaining that tolerance, and you have to be able to measure the exact hole size and then adjust the machine. If we use a drill, until the drill starts to get severely worn out, it makes the same size hole. So these magnets, some of them are too loose, very few of them are too tight. And what I mean by too tight is it's so tight when you go to press that magnet and it actually shatters. So an interesting thing about titanium and Delrin as well, which is the other material that we're using, is they are both in their own way kind of springy, so the holes already tend to come out a little bit small. I'm sort of taking advantage of that, and so I know my hole's gonna come out undersized, and basically all of these magnets are undersized as well. The reason I'm having to grade them is that some of them are too small. Either they literally won't stick inside the hole that we're making, or they would fall out over time. I was hoping to not have to do this because I have about 5,000 magnets to do.
Hello, darkness.
This just ended up being the best way to do it. I basically have 2 bins here, good, too small. How do I sort them? Basically, this is a go, no-go gauge. If the magnet goes in the hole, then it's a bad part. If the magnet doesn't go in the hole, then it's a good part. My ideal magnet size is 0.1245 inches. The reamer that I had was 124.7, so that is arguably too large. However, I knew that because this is a Delrin, that hole was gonna come out undersized, so I just ran that 124.7 reamer in, and I got a hole that is basically exactly the middle of my inspection range. Here's a little bit of an aside. Nothing in machining is absolute. A lot of machinists or people in general talk about dimensions as being absolute, but they are not. Every dimension has a tolerance. Rarely is that part exactly on size, and part of that is how precise your measuring equipment is. Well, it looks good at 3 decimal points. It doesn't look as good when you add more on. If my ideal number is 124.5, if I get below 124.3, then that starts to be a bad fit. So I could go above that, that's fine, but I don't want to go below that. The amount below my ideal, the limit for that, is 2 10,000ths of an inch. For those of you who use the metric system, please try not to laugh during this part. So you take 1 inch, divide that into 10,000 slices. My tolerance range is 2 of those slices. This dumb piece of plastic with a hole in it gets me to where I need to go. Despite the fact that I have this gauge, there is feel involved, and that is true with all types of hard gauging like this. Obviously, if it just won't go in, like this magnet, that is one thing, right? Okay, so I'll put that in the good bin. No go, no go. Oh, of course I hit a bunch of them that are oversized. All right, now I have one here that will go in, but there's some friction and it's very tight. It's even hard to get started, but it does go in. So this means I'm very close to whatever that limit is. The trick is you just kind of have to feel what is too tight or not. Because I have that 2/10 to play around with between 124.5 and 124.3, I can either just reject this part or I can use my judgment. And so the thing that I do while I'm sitting here is I know this isn't totally loose, so it's not a reject. So literally based on the feel of this, I'm gonna guess that this is 124.4. All right, so let's measure it. So this micrometer reads 50 millionths of an inch, and it is smack on at 124.4. I mean, I guessed that right to within 50 millionths of an inch. Any, person who does a lot of inspection should be able to develop that kind of feel. One question is always, what makes parts expensive? One of the biggest things that makes parts expensive is precision. If I didn't have to measure any of these, I wouldn't have to spend any time doing it, and time is what? Money. So I'm gonna get back to inspection so I can start putting some more earplugs together. Nope. Let's see if that first measurement was a fluke. I'm gonna call this one 124.5 to 124.5 to 124.55. And if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna edit this out. $124.5. Huh? That's not really about me being cool. I just think it's pretty amazing that a human with the right tools can be just as accurate as this little very, very expensive machine. Here's my question. How long are you gonna sit here watching me do this? Do we feel like we might need another angle? Who's gonna move the camera though? Where's the camera guy? That's me. Manufacturing is fun and awesome.